Praise the Most High, family. Hallelujah. It's a gorgeous day here in the Carolinas. We're so glad to see it. Praise the Most High, family. I was out early today. Went out to a job in Monroe, North Carolina. Nice little travel. Got there, family, I was going to put together this huge flat top grill. But I got there and went out to the ladies' shed or storage building. We'll put it like that, storage building, because it was huge. Me and her son brought it onto the back deck. And I looked at the box. I said, uh-oh. I could look at the box and tell there was some damage to the item. But I didn't say anything. I kept it moving. Went on and got it on the deck and started unpacking it. And I see that it's damaged to the point of I wouldn't assemble it. Simply because the burner, one of the gas burners on it, was broken off. Pretty much nothing I could do. That and some cosmetic damage on the front of the face of the grill, where the knobs are, one side dented all in. Like, no, this isn't acceptable. Not to me, so I definitely wouldn't expect the customer to want it. So I called the lady on back outdoors and told her, and took pictures and sent them on to the place she bought them. And that was pretty much it. But she said that was the second time they sent her that damaged grill. And she had the other one out in the storage building. And that was 2 strikes, family. So I'm like, what are you gonna do? She said, sir, it looks like I'm not supposed to have a flat top. But she had 2 other big grills on her back deck. One a grill, and I think the other one was a smoker. And she was getting a flat top. So they was going to do some show enough cooking. But that takes us round into our idea, family. And let me say, I hope everyone is well, pardon me. And that you're able to get out and enjoy this day as we are. Getting yourself in some fresh air, some sunshine, and the Most High willing some exercise. And family, I just put on some chapstick. I've been sitting here with the window down, and it's quite chilly out here. The sun is pretty and bright, quite warm on the skin. You put that window down though, it's hawk. The hawk is out, praise the Most High. But as I was saying, that takes us round into our idea. The grills, the second time they sent her damaged items. And the idea is there's laws in every kingdom. Uh-oh. There go Robert again talking about laws, statutes, and commands. Trying to tell me what I gotta do. Uh-oh. No, I'm not. It's just suggestion. Because see, what the Most High did, family, He made us so unique. We're the only creatures on this earth that have free will. See, we're the only ones that can choose to go wrong. See, all the other animals and creatures in this world can't choose to go wrong. They have to do what's written on their DNA. But written on our DNA is a question mark, which says which way you want to go. Praise the Most High. And I say that idea about the grill takes us into this idea because they keep messing up the latest order. They keep breaking the unspoken rule. Well, it's pretty much spoken. I pay you my money, you give me the item I want, undamaged and working properly. But see, family, we choose to believe that we can be like Pit Boss or FedEx or whoever keep damaging the lady's item. But I believe it was the shipper or the carrier. And I told her it's probably the same old unprofessional driver. Because usually drivers have routes for certain cities and different parts of the city, and they run that same route. But who knows? I can't blame it on nobody because I don't know. All I know is I drove out there and I got paid just as if I put the thing together. But praise the Most High, family. And what we're going to do today is read some notes, family. And I found this study. Of course, the Most High gave me the idea, but in my study time looking up this idea, looking up scripts, I ran across this this page that has some really good notes on this idea. So we're going to read over their notes, and I'll give them credit for it. It's called The True Gospel. But I'll let you know when we get to their notes. And once again, our idea is there's laws in every kingdom. And the Most High, family, I gotta say this, the way this idea came about, and pardon the helicopter, the Most High kept reminding me of this. He was like, Robert, these preachers will not tell you to break the American laws, statutes, and commands, will they? I said, no, they wouldn't. Matter of fact, they tell you to submit to the kingdom, submit to your government, pay your taxes, do right, obey every law. But we don't want to pay the Most High his taxes, nor do we want to keep his commands. And do know that, as the text says, the kingdom is inside of you, as Yahushua said. The kingdom is within you. You're going to look for it to come, but you ain't going to see it. It's inside of an individual. So we have to keep these commands in order for us to say we're kingdom citizens. And as we'll see, it doesn't make you a kingdom citizen if you'll keep these laws, statutes, and commands. But it's a given. This is your, what the text call it? The least you can do, we'll put it like that. But we'll get that script too. But let's read these notes. When we talk of the laws of the Most High's kingdom, we are speaking of rules which people who are in the kingdom of the Most High must obey or follow. That's pretty straightforward, family. We're talking about rules which people who are in the kingdom of the Most High must obey or follow. The rules instruct and command us on how things must be done. Not things can be done. That thing said must be done. There ain't no other way, family. There ain't no other way. Or things that are allowed in it. And they're saying there are some things that's allowed. Like grace, mercy. Because as the text says, the Most High will have mercy on whoever he will. But we can't take that overboard and say, okay, I can do whatever I want to. Because he gonna forgive me. Oh boy. And the text says, should we continue to sin if we know we have that grace and the mercy that the Most High is gonna forgive us? And the whole question goes back to what is really sin? It's transgression of the Most High's law. You have got to be crazy to think there's no rules in the Most High's kingdom. And that you can prance on in without following the rules. The laws of the Most High's kingdom also refer to how things happen in the Most High's kingdom. This is how we get down. This is what we do when we do the do. What are the laws of the kingdom? Now this is where I got the writing from that study that I looked up from the True Gospel page. A kingdom, like any nation today, cannot function without laws. There must be a standard of conduct for subjects and citizens to follow, or chaos and anarchy will result. Following the laws of a kingdom or nation does not grant a person citizenship. See, this is what I was saying. Just because you visit a nation and you follow the rules don't mean you're a citizen. That means you just know what you better be doing while you're in the kingdom. You can't be stealing, you can't be robbing, or they're going to lock you up and 9 times out of 10 deport you after you serve your time. They'd be like, you can't come back here no more. You can't visit our kingdom no more. Following the laws of a kingdom or a nation does not grant a person citizenship. That is not the purpose of law. It's going to break it down. Law is simply a guide for people to follow to ensure cohesion, agreement, and shalom in civil and interpersonal relationships. Oh boy. See, family, you see why I'm sharing this, don't you? This individual broke it down, and I would give the name, but they only had the name on the page. They broke this down. I had to share it. Law is simply a guide for people to follow to ensure cohesion, agreement, and shalom in civil and interpersonal relationships. We had to read that again. Without an understood standard enforced by a sovereign ruler, in this case the Most High, everyone will act according to his own whim and desire. There we go. Well, I believe, or I choose to believe, as I heard my Caris from Covenant Awakenings this morning, he was breaking it down too, as far as people choosing with their free will, which they have the right, choosing to believe against what the Most High's words say. He was speaking on prophecy coming true, and how people say, I choose not to believe that's prophecy of the Bible. But them 400-year prophecy ain't so, huh? And as we said, without an understood standard enforced by the sovereign ruler, everyone will act according to his own whim or desire, and nothing good or worthwhile will be produced. Oh boy, family. And let's look at that script. It's in Judges 21 and 25. And it says, in those days there was no king in Yasharel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. Or, as the NIV says, in those days Yasharel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. As they wanted to. I choose to believe that I'm going to do as I will. Okay, fella. Okay, girl, go ahead and do what you feel you want to do. But then when it's time to enter the kingdom, what you going to say? The Most High knows my heart. Okay, we'll get to that too. The kingdom of the Most High is no different. Yahuwah is not the author of confusion, as we see in 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. It says, for the Most High is not an Elohim of confusion, but of shalom. So he pretty much say what he mean, right, family? And mean what he say, huh? Yes, indeed. His kingdom will be peaceful and orderly, because everyone who will enter into it will have voluntarily submitted himself to the law, the commands of Yahuwah. The Most High will not have anyone in his kingdom who demonstrates by the pattern of their life that they will not obey him. So you mean I gotta obey some rules, Robert? Yes, indeed, you better. Or you'll be like me with your hind part in the sling. And I mean literally. Praise the Most High. We ain't gonna tell a testimony today, family. But you know it. And you seen the pictures and you saw my hind part was in a sling. Literally. And no, that's not me sharing all the pictures. Because some of them I couldn't share. Praise the Most High. And as we said, the Most High will not have anyone in his kingdom who demonstrates by the pattern of his life or her life or their lives, they will not obey him. And we see that in Matthew 7:21 through 23. See, this text is simple, family, if you read it. If you would just pick it up and read it. Instead of having them old lying preachers telling a lie to you about it. Now, everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. But the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Oh boy, family. He said, not everybody who says, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom, but the one who does the will of the Father. And we also look at Hebrews 10:26 through 31. If we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, family, after we receive what? The knowledge of the truth. What is the knowledge of the truth, Robert? That you got to obey, that you got to submit to the king's authority, or should we say the king's authority. You got to do what's right. You can't break the commands, laws, and statutes and say they done away with. I live under grace. We getting ahead of ourselves. If we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sins is left. But only a fearful expectation of judgment and of raging fire that will consume the enemies of Yahuwah. He called them enemies of Yahuwah that consistently break the Most High's will. That consistently sin against him. He called them enemies. Oh boy. And they have an expectation, man. The text says they have a fearful expectation of what? Judgment. And a raging fire that will consume the enemies of Yahuwah. Anyone who rejected the law of Moses died without mercy on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much more severely do you think someone deserves to be punished who has trampled the Son of the Most High underfoot, who has treated as an unholy thing the blood of the covenant that sanctified them, and who has insulted the Ruach of grace? See, there is your grace doctrine right there. For we know him who said, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay." And again, the Most High will judge his people. It is dreadful. It is a dreadful thing to fall into the hands of the living Elohim Yahuwah. But it's okay. We can do what we want to do, right? We can choose to believe what we want. Right, Robert? Yes, indeed. You can choose to party hardy. Party all your life. Like I said, I ain't gotten to the age where I felt like I've done it all. I've seen it all. I spent time with enough folks to say I've had enough. And I've got enough whippings to say, okay, I'm done dealing. I'm done dealing. I cannot go out here and try to think I can mess up anymore. I simply believe it'll kill me. Because what the text just say, family? Who has treated as an unholy thing the blood of the covenant that sanctified them, and who has insulted the Spirit of grace. Family, we don't want to insult the Most High's grace and love and care for us. We don't want to do it. We don't want to insult him at all. And then we'll look at Revelations 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. That's us. Which kept the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. Family, is this Revelations? Is this Revelations 12 and 17? Still talking about keeping the commandments of the Most High? Somebody lying, family. Somebody been lying to you. As the text says, the Gentiles would say our forefathers have inherited lies. Oh boy, family. What's the title of this idea? There's laws in every kingdom. So, Robert, you mean we supposed to be following the laws, statutes, and commandments right now, even before we get out into the wilderness? What did the text just say, family? In Revelations, let me get it. 12 and 17. And the dragon, Hasatan, was wroth with the woman, who was Yasharel, with the 12 stars in her crown, the 12 tribes of Yasharel. And she was having a baby who was Yahusha. And after she had the baby, Hasatan was wroth with her. He tried to make war with her, as we see here. But she ran into the wilderness. It says that the Most High sent her wings as an eagle for her to escape. And then Hasatan tried to send water, a flood, to swallow her up. But the text says the earth helped the woman and swallowed up the water. Praise the Most High. What a grand story, Father, family, of our deliverance. Coming out of this Babylonian system. Going into the wilderness where the text is, we're going to pass under the rod. Hallelujah. And one of our ox said that passing under a rod is a tradition, a wedding ceremony tradition that's done in Africa. Our promised land, our homeland. Not no Middle East. Them niggas. Robert almost cousin. Robert almost cousin. Family, I gotta tell you, Robert ain't as sanctified and holy as you think. Robert still slips up at times when I get emotional. And I ask you to forgive me, even though I ain't get it all the way out. But yeah, them jokers try to finesse us. Like our ox said this morning, ox carries. They try to finesse you through the word, lying to you through the word, and we fall for it. Like he was saying that, well, I choose to believe pastor. I choose to believe pastor. And if I believe the man of God, how can I go wrong? Oh boy, what a crazy question, and what absolute foolishness. When the text says, study to show yourselves approved, family. Why would he say that? Why wouldn't he say, let pastor do all the studying, let bishop do all the studying, let your teacher do all the studying, and then let them break it down to you and spoon feed you the lies and the alibis, because that's what they do. Oh boy, family, I'm gonna stay calm. I'm not gonna get too emotional today. But it's so simple that a little bit of baby can see it. See, Yahusha died to bring us back into the covenant with the Most High, to give us what is really the definition of grace. Pardon me. Opportunity. Yeah, I know grace means more than that, but the main thing it is for any common sense individual, grace is the opportunity to get right. It's not a continual cycle of forgiveness for doing wrong, like we have gotten into the habit of doing and going to church on Sunday morning, getting old pastor that slaps some holy oil on your head. And see, that cancels out the guilt for a minute, because it's an actual laying on of the hands, and he's giving you that lie. You're forgiven, my son. I forgive you. Not no Yahushua, not no Jesus, not no good Lord God. I forgive you. And the Most High said, I ain't co-signing that check, Joker. I ain't gonna cuss, family. He said, I ain't co-signing that. You better get right before you get killed. Before you stroke out. Before you have to have an open heart surgery to remove damaged items, which is damaged because you live sinfully. Oh boy. See, family, he gave our people the law, statutes, and commands at the foot of the mountain. He ain't give them to other nations. So when they say, I feel like I don't have to, that's true. Don't follow them. You're okay, do what you do. And you don't have to enter into the kingdom either. Not only are we blood DNA children of the Most High, but we accepted the sacrifice that he made for us through Yahushua Mashiach. As we see in these scripts, family, this is my right now. I would highly recommend us go and read over that study, and read over it with discernment. Also, I say, because I don't take everybody's belief and doctrine at face value, but I shared that part that I shared because it lines up with my belief and understanding. You have to discern what people say. Like I said, as we see in these scripts, they describe the saints as those who keep the commandments of Yahuwah and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. A Pharisee once asked Yahushua, Adonai, which is the great commandment in the law? And we see this in Matthew 22 and 36. And Yahushua said unto him, or said to him, you shall love the Most High with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. His response shows that the intent of the Most High's laws is love. Love towards Yahuwah and toward your fellow man. Yahushua said to him, you shall love the Most High your Elohim with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands hang all the law and the prophets. And family, I would dare add the kingdom. On these two commands hang all the law and all the prophets, and I would dare add, and the kingdom. As we see in this short idea, family, the Most High's commands, laws, and statutes are simply for our benefit, love, and care. We can also see that we show our love to the Father and each other by keeping them as commanded to Yahushua or Joshua in Joshua 1 and 7. So to put it very plainly, which the script says, you keep them on your eyes and in front of your eyes, don't look to the left or the right. So to put it very plainly and bluntly, family, if you don't and won't follow the rules of the kingdom, you don't really know and love the Most High and will not enter into it. I can hear folks now using that same old famous excuse. God knows my heart. The good Lord knows my heart. However, the text says in Jeremiah 17, 9 and 10, The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? I, the Most High, searches the heart and examine the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, family, according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. So be careful if you are listening to a false teacher or preacher, because they don't really know the heart of the Father, saying the laws is done away with. You might come back and say, I live under grace. I would simply answer that excuse. What country or kingdom will let you continue to break his laws and not punish you? Oh boy. That's quite simple, family. There's laws in every kingdom. Robert, thank you, Father. Why would you be bringing this up? Why would you be talking about rules, laws, and statutes and commands? Pardon me. Simply because, family, we are getting ready to be ushered out of this Babylonian system, pardon me, and on into the wilderness. Whether you believe it or not, you don't have to. And if you stay here, you're going to be judged with the rest of these folks. But the text says once we get into the wilderness, family, we're going to pass under the rod. And some are going to be married on into the kingdom, Yahusha, where he says he's going to come and plead with us face to face and have us pass under the rod. See, that's a marriage ceremony, family. However, at the same time, it says he's going to purge out the rebels. So, as we said in the prior recording, we're all going to be going through the pass in review. Getting inspected. According to your deeds and your works will be your pass or your expelling. And as I wanted to say in the prior recording when we went over the pass in review, there was a few people that didn't make the mark, family. They couldn't handle ROTC. They couldn't live up to the code of conduct. And I was one. Yes, indeed, I was one, family. But see, I knew people. See, I knew people. And the colonel, he liked me. But Sergeant Major Miles, he did not like me. Colonel Belcher, I believe. And Sergeant Major Miles didn't like me too tough. And like I say, he loved me, but he didn't like my actions. But they kept showing me grace, family. Instead of failing me and getting me on out of the class, which I would have been expelled from the class, which basically I would just had to try to find something else to do during that time. Because they didn't play with folks, family. But they loved my brother so much, family, they chose to give me a pass. And they knew my family's background. That all the men in our family were soldiers. And that they was doing my father a favor also. By like doing what Sergeant Major Miles said, it's in you, we're going to get it out you. It's got to be in you because it's in your family. I'm like, it ain't in me. Oh boy. I was like, it ain't in me. So the question is it in you today, family? Oh boy. Is submitting to the Most High's will and plan for your life in you today? Will you choose to say, I'll follow you? Like my boy Hezekiah, he just came out with a new song called I'll Say Yes. One of them old songs we used to sing in church that he remade. Will you say yes today, family? So you can't wait until you get into the wilderness to start trying to say yes. Because it's going to be so unfamiliar with you. I'm not saying it's impossible. I say it's going to be hard. Because it's going to be so unfamiliar with you. And you're in the mind state that you can do whatever you want to do. You choose to believe that you can do whatever you want to do. And you can say, okay, you still have your free will choice. Even in the wilderness, you can do whatever you want to do. But it's going to cost you eternally. Do stay up, my family. Keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Hallelujah.